Hello everyone. Today we will see how to host website, simple website, static website in S3 bucket. But prior to that, we will also see bunch of other web services which can help hosting this website. One of them is Route 53, where we will see how to set up DNS records, and also we will see how to create a certificate, SSL certificate, to serve our website in a safe way. And third, we will create a website, simple website. We will push this code to this S3 bucket, and then we will also empower this S3 bucket by CloudFront, where the CloudFront will cache your website in the edge locations, it will serve as a content delivery network. And then we will also see how to invalidate the cache from the CLI, where if in case if you have any updates, you want to show that, you want to reflect it immediately. So we can see that also. Let's get started. Okay, so now we are in AWS Management Console. In the search box, I will be typing Route 53. This is my starting place, Route 53, scalable DNS and domain name registration from Route 53 service of AWS. We can purchase domain. Okay, domain registration. If you want to purchase a domain, you can purchase it from clicking from here. It's absolutely nice feature in Route 53. Okay. Also, you can buy domain from third-party provider like GoDaddy or Namecheap, etc., etc. And then you can link your domain in this, from AWS DNS. Okay, you can create the DNS records in Route 53. You can map it with your domain. Okay, that's also can be done. Now, for this case, I have purchased a domain from namecheap.com. Okay, w3cloudstudio.com. This is my domain, where I purchased it from other third party like Namecheap. Okay, but from AWS now today I am going to set up DNS management for this domain. Okay, so let's see how to do it. Like Route 53 service, and create in the dashboard of the Route 53. There is option here, DNS management. Here all you need to do is create a hosted zone. A hosted zone tells Route 53 how to respond to DNS queries for domain search example.com. If anybody query on W3 Cloud Studio, then there should be a mechanism to respond to that, that DNS queries. So we need to create a DNS, management. You can set up it here, the third party, but I want to keep it in Route 53 so that I can manage AWS resources from here. Okay, so I create hosted zone. Click to create hosted zone. Hosted zone configuration, there you have to mention the exact domain name. For example, my domain name is W3 Cloud Studio. Okay, I copy the name and I paste it here, W3 Cloud Studio domain name. There is an optional description. There are two types, public hosted zone or private hosted zone. Of course, I need a public hosted zone. Anybody in the internet can access my website. So it's a public hosted zone. Okay, click here to create hosted zone. This hosted zone is successfully created. Now you can create records in hosted zone to specify how you want a Route 53 to route traffic to your domain. Okay. Once you create it, you will get bunch of records, like two records here. One is NS, name server. This is very important. Okay, if you notice, record name W3 Cloud Studio. This is the name server type and simple, and this has created set of set of values, set of DNS names. Okay, these names must be mapped to the third party domain register. Okay, so let me go to this namecheap.com. Okay, and in the domain list there is a name server section where I selected custom DNS. Okay, custom DNS. Then I'm going to copy these values one by one. Okay, without the dot. Copy, paste. Copy, paste. Then there is a button here to save. Click save. DNS server update may take up to 48 hours to take effect. So this will take little time. So I will get back once things are reflected in DNS server. Okay. Okay, after a while, I really wanted to see whether my DNS settings are propagated or not. So I have option here whether I can see it in the online DNS checker. Okay, so I click DNS checker website, DNS checker, DNS check propagation tool to see whether my DNS changes are propagated or not. Click here, and there is a text box here to search your DNS. Okay, so W3 Cloud Studio, then I select NS type name server because I updated name server and click search. Now you will see all our DNS changes are reflected everywhere. So now it's a perfectly good time to go. Now we will set up a certificate. We'll create a certificate to map with our domain, because if anybody query our domain website, so we want to provide a secure access SSL certificate. So for that, we will go to certificate manager, service certificate manager. Click certificate manager. ACM managed certificate. Okay, AWS managed certificate. Request a certificate. There is a button here, request a certificate. Request a public certificate. Request a public SSL TLS certificate from Amazon. Okay, these public certificates are trusted by browsers and operating systems. Click next, and here you have to provide the completely qualified domain name. Our domain is the same, W3 Cloud Studio. Copy and paste it here. Okay, NS validation recommended. Check this one, and the default options are perfectly fine. Click request. Successfully requested certificate with this one. A certificate request status of pending validation has been created. Further action is needed to complete the validation approval of the certificate. Okay, now the status is pending validation. There is a domain section where you have mapped W3 Cloud Studio. Its status is pending validation, and there is a button here, create records in Route 53. Click to create record. So this record will be create DNS records in Route 53. Okay, click this button, create records. Successfully created DNS record. If you go to the DNS Route 53, refresh, you will find a C name type of record be inserted, but this time from the certificate manager. Okay, now if you go to the certificates, you will find this is still pending validation. It will take some time. Okay, I will show once it is done. Now congrats, the status is issued. In Route 53 we create a hosted zone, and we also created the certificate and associated with our certificate with this one. Okay, now let's go and create a S3 bucket and set it up as a static website. Okay, now I am going to open S3 website. Now I am going to deploy host my home page, my website for W3 Cloud Studio. For that, I'm going to create a bucket. Create a bucket. There is option. We are in S3 console, and there is a button here, create a bucket. This time You should create the bucket name exactly the same name as the domain. Okay, this is very important. w3cloudstudio.com. Copy the domain name and come to the S3 console and copy the bucket name W3 Cloud Studio. The bucket name should be exactly the same. Okay, and the ownership, the default options are fine. Block public access settings for this website. This website should be in public, so I don't want to block any public access, so uncheck this one. Okay, and turning off block, there is a warning and there is a checkbox to acknowledge yes I know the risk. Okay, so this is the basic setting. You have to uncheck this one, okay, so that your website be accessible outside, and also acknowledge. Bucket versioning, the default options are perfectly fine. Bucket key, everything is fine. Okay, click here to create a bucket. Our bucket is being created successfully. Okay, S3 W3 cloudstudio.com. Our bucket is created. Click here. Now we need to do few more things. Go to the properties. And you will have option here to static website hosting. Currently the static website hosting is disabled. You need to enable it. Click here to edit, enable static website. Okay, hosting type, host a static website. Yes, I want to host a static website, which means I am going to copy some files inside. Then the other type is redirect request. Sometimes you don't need to copy the objects, you need to keep the objects here. You can simply redirect to another object in another bucket. But now I'm going to keep all the objects in this bucket, so host a static website option is fine. Then the index document, the home page for my website is index.html. That's the document. I'm going to copy the error HTML. I'll simply put index.html. Sometimes I host single page application, so any case the error also the same page. The error will be handled to the same page. Okay, so everything is fine. Now click here to save changes. One more thing also required, where you have to go to the permissions. You need to give permission. You need to create the bucket policy so that your objects are accessible when they are requested. Okay, you can go to the Google and you can also search like S3 static website bucket policy. Okay, this is the one. You come here, scroll down, you will find the policy example. Let's say this one. Copy this one and come back to S3 bucket policy. There is option you to edit this button, copy inside. Everything is perfect except this bucket on. Copy the bucket on. Be carefully copy this on here. Okay, inside this one, which means the statement is public read get object. It will help to get object. Effect is allow. Every single person select everything. Action is get bucket. Everyone can get bucket, get object. Okay, so this is permitting everyone to get object inside this bucket. Slash star means this bucket on. Slash star means everything inside this bucket be accessible. Get object permission is allowed. Okay, allow. So this is the policy for a standard to host the S3 bucket, and click to save changes. Okay, successfully edited bucket policy. Now I'll show you my website, simple website. Okay, I'm going to my Visual Studio Code. There I have some files. There is index.html. Let me show this file. This is W3 Cloud Studio. This very simple website. Okay, I'm going to host this website inside that bucket. come back to this root folder and open in the git bash. Okay, open the git bash, and here I'm going to type the command, a CLI command, AWS S3 sync colon slash the folder name is W3CS W3CS slash, and then S3 colon slash slash W3 cloud studio.com. That's my bucket name. Okay, hit enter. Now you will see our files are being transmitted to this bucket. Let me go to the buckets, w3cloudstudio.com, and refresh the objects. You will find your files are here. Okay, now let me go to the properties. Okay, and there is if you go to the static website hosting section, you will find endpoint. Okay, click here to open it. Congratulations, your website is hosted on this S3 bucket. Okay, now I want to set up CloudFront on top of this bucket. Okay, so that this website is super fast, and you know it will be served nicely as a content delivery network. So let me go to the CloudFront. Let me type CloudFront. Click CloudFront. I have a distribution, but I want to create new distribution. Click here to create a new distribution. Okay, the origin domain. Choose an AWS origin or enter origin domain name. Okay, so the origin is I want have to select the bucket which I created before. Okay, so which is nothing but w3cloudstudio.com s3 amazon.com. This is the bucket. Okay, it is saying use S3 use website endpoint, so that you know you have enabled S3 as a static website. This is asking me to select this as a endpoint, but I will not do that. Because why? Because if the architecture is, if I browse the S3 if I browse S3 website directly, I should not access it, because I have to access it through CloudFront only. Okay, so I'm going to block the public access directly to the S3 bucket. So for that only I'm letting the CloudFront to access this S3 bucket. This is called origin access control. Okay, so leave this one, and origin access, select origin access control settings. Okay, select this option. So enter the bucket name, don't check this one, and origin access, don't check public, check origin access control settings. This is the recommended option. Bucket can restrict access only to the CloudFront. Okay, currently we don't have any origin access control. We have to create new origin access control. Click here to create new origin access control, and the default options are fine. Okay, and click to create. This name is already exists, so I will create some name, different name, v1. Okay, new origin access control. Click here to create. You must update the S3 bucket policy. There is a warning sign here. If you remember, we in the bucket policy, if you remember the S3 bucket policy, where we let everyone to access all the objects. Okay, if you go to the W3 Cloud Studio and permissions, if you scroll down, this is allowing S3 get object from everyone. Now this is going to be changed. Okay, so this will provide a bucket policy. That policy must be copied in that permissions. Okay, so that's one thing. Now we set up origin access control successfully, and scroll down The default options are fine. Okay, default cache behavior is fine. Viewer protocol policy, I want redirect if any HTTP request made, I want to redirect it as HTTP yes. So select this one. Allowed HTTP methods, select the second option, get head options. Okay, options is very important for to resolve the CORS issues. So select options, and this is restrict viewer access. It's okay, and cache and origin request. This the default options are perfectly fine. Cache policy, origin access, everything is fine. Request header policy, everything is fine. Then click additional settings, and there is nothing required to change. Okay, we don't want any associate anything, and there is a section here to associate with the firewall. Now for the time being, I don't want to set up any firewall. Use edge locations for the best performance. Yes, I want to serve from the edge locations, so I select this one. Alternate domain name, this is very important. Yeah, I want to access CloudFront from my domain name, so click to add item. Here I'm going to copy my domain name. Okay, copy this one and paste it here. And here is interesting section, custom SSL certificate. Yes, I created a certificate, if you remember. So I select the certificate. So here I associate my certificate with this CloudFront distribution. Okay, rest everything is fine. Don't check this one. Okay, only this one. And the default root object, the default root object is index.html. That's very important. Okay, the default root object is my index page, and everything set fine. Click to create a distribution. Yes, the bucket policy needs to be updated. Okay, there is a bucket policy in this in the copy to the clipboard, copy policy. Once you copy it, you come back to S3. Okay, you come back to S3, same bucket, come back to S3, bucket policy, edit, and paste it, replace the policy given by the CloudFront. If you notice the CloudFront policy, this is saying allow service principal only CloudFront, not everybody, only CloudFront can access your all the objects. Okay, and the source ARN like this. So this is saying that, restricting the access, only the CloudFront can access your objects. Okay, save changes done. Now if you remember, if you go to the old URL like this S3, you will not be granted to access denied. Okay, so that's one thing. Now let's wait for the distribution to be ready. Now the current status is deploying. Let's wait for some times. Okay, now let me come back to the Route 53. Now if you go to the CloudFront, this is still deploying. I will get back once this is done. Okay, after some times I got the status enabled. Okay, so the CloudFront is ready, so we can start using CloudFront. Okay, now so as we set alternative domain name for this CloudFront, we need to link this CloudFront in the Route 53. Okay, now come back to Route 53 hosted zones. Come to our hosted zone. Okay, here we have to create a new record that will point to the CloudFront. Okay, click here to create a record. Record name, subdomain, nothing, it's a apex level W3. If anybody requesting w3cloudstudio.com, then it's a record. Okay, here I have to point to alias. This time the alias is my CloudFront distribution. Alias to my CloudFront distribution. Okay, select the CloudFront which we created. Okay, Rest everything is fine. Create records. Now this record is being created. Congrats. Yeah, this is still pending. Okay, let's wait for some times. Now we can check our website. If you go to the browser and type our website name w3cloudstudio.com, hit enter. Congratulations, the website is looking great and it's working perfectly fine. Now we will come to the final part of this video. Currently this website been fetched from the S3 bucket, and the website is cached in the CloudFront and present it to our browser. Next time if you query this website URL, then this will be loaded directly from the CloudFront, from the cache. Now I want to make changes in this website and to propagate the changes. How we will see how to propagate the changes. If you go to the CloudFront, you will see the CloudFront distribution. This CloudFront is responsible for caching the static website. This will be served from the CDN, Content Delivery Network, from the edge location, which is closer to the user's location. Now we will update this website. Part of the text we will update and then see how to push the new changes, to the user. Okay. So what we will do some changes in this website. Okay. Now let me open this my project file. There is a index.html. If you browse this index.html file, you will notice the website is loading currently, which is similar to the production one. Okay. Now I'm going to change part of a few things so that we will see how to propagate the changes. Now there is a text under the title. I'm going to locate the text. Here I'm changing only like #1. Okay, just number one, cloud solution. Okay, something like I'm changing some text only. Okay, I make save changes. Then I'm going to push this change to the S3 bucket. Okay. So let me view this one in the browser before I push. Now changes are looking great in the local environment. Okay. Now I want the same thing in the production. So let me push this change to the S3 bucket. So I'm writing some command in the terminal. S3. So I'm writing some command to sync my local directory to the S3 bucket. Okay. So S3 bucket name, which is my static bucket name, s3:/ w3cloudstudio.com. So this command, if I hit enter, this command will transmit the files to S3 bucket. I'm just opening the S3 bucket to view whether the changes are pushed or not. If you notice the index.html file, you will see the changes are pushed. If you notice the time, okay, date modified, you will find the changes are already pushed to the S3 bucket. Now the new content is pushed in the S3 bucket, right? Okay. If you notice, if you refresh, you will find the index.html is updated. If you notice the date modified, this is updated already. Okay. Now if I go to the website, if I browse it, I'm still seeing the old content. Okay, I'm not getting the new one because this has been cached in the CloudFront. CloudFront will not go and read it from the S3 bucket. That will immediately give it from the cache itself. So how to push the new changes to the users immediately? There is option. You have to create invalidation in the CloudFront. So we will see how to invalidate the CloudFront cache, so that CloudFront will reset, will fetch the new content from S3 bucket. So we will achieve it through the CLI command. So I'm going to type some command like AWS CloudFront create invalidation. create invalidation. Then I need to provide the distribution ID dash dash distribution dash ID distribution ID. Then I will go to the CloudFront to see to copy the distribution ID exactly. If I go to the distributions, I copy the distribution ID. Okay, you can find a list of distributions here. I copied the one which I need. Okay, I'm pasting the copied distribution ID. Then I need to provide the path. So this argument will mention from which place, like I want to route, I want to refresh everything from the root. Okay, star slash star. Okay, this is perfectly fine. Hit enter. Okay, I hit enter. Then you will see the create invalidation in progress. I go to the console, CloudFront console, open the distribution, open the invalidation tab. Then I'll see the thing, the actions is in progress. Okay, currently in progress. Let's wait for some times. Now it's completed. Let us get back to the browser to view changes, refresh, reload the page. Yes, now this time we got the text is changed. So the new changes are pushed to the pushed by invalidating the CloudFront. Okay, so our website is looking great now. That's it from my end. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much. Bye.